got me in a trance. DJ turn me up, ladies this your jam. I'ma sip Moscato, you gon' lose them fast. And I'ma throw this money while you do it with no hands. Girl, drop it to the floor, I love the way you put it down.
It's me, Mr. Bucket List, and I am back. And welcome to my first Carnival cruise. Let's get it. Now, when it comes to the check-in, it was actually pretty smooth. I know a lot of people like to complain about the drug-sniffing dogs. For me, I've interned at both Universal Studios and Disney World. They have them there as well. That's not a sign of low-class behavior. That's just a sign of security. So that was nothing new to me. What was unfortunate was I bought the Faster to the Fun package, but a lot of the actual staff members didn't know where I needed to go for it. And so eventually, by the time I found it, they had already called the Faster to the Fun people. So I completely wasted at least the onboard experience to the Faster to the Fun. But it didn't matter. I was so excited. Like, here we are, Carnival Glory, my first Carnival cruise. Let's go. And that excitement kind of died down when I realized I was not the first person on the pool deck. You all know that's a little game I play. And for the most part, I'm like 95% successful. This was not one of those cruises because I was very lost. But either way, here goes the selfie. Now, if you know anything about Carnival, then you know about Guy's Burger. And at this point, it was almost an emergency that I had to go and get my first Guy Burger. I couldn't do anything else besides go and get that dang burger. And that's exactly what I did. Oh my God, it was so good. Oh, it was one of the best burgers I've ever had in my life. And the fries too, that donkey sauce, all of it was fantastic.
Remix.
Now, after I had one of the best burgers of my life, it was finally time to just kind of check around the cruise ship a little bit and also go to my room and check that out as well. Now, the one thing I was kind of concerned about is I kind of heard some rumors that on Carnival cruises, no matter what you do to like access stuff or the power stuff, you had to do the Cupid Shuffle. If you want to drink from the bar, you got to do the Cupid Shuffle. If you want to power the toaster in the buffet, you got to shuffle it out. If you need to access your cabin, you better make sure you got a dance floor in front of you because you need to Cupid Shuffle it out. No, I'm just kidding, but that's literally what I associate Carnival cruises with. Not all the nonsense that people usually say. I just see a lot of dancing and stuff, and so I was excited for it. But I did need to check out my room. And this is my room. So I didn't have any issues with it. I mean, yes, it was small and it had a twin-size bed and stuff like that. But again, it was just me. This is a solo cruise. And I saw the pictures of the room ahead of time. So on Margaritaville at Sea, I didn't know what I was going to get. And I walked into a room with bunk beds. For this is a little bit different, so I really didn't mind. My only issue was my room did flood when I would take a shower. It was very strange. So yeah, outside of the flooding, I mean, I had no issues with the room. It is what it is. I really could care less. My cabin stool was cool. The room was comfortable. That's all I cared about. But the main thing I was really just focused and just ready for was the sail away party.
Drop it low, girl. Drop it low, girl. Drop it.
I looked at my watch and I realized, I was like, oh my God, it's almost time for the Carnival sail away party. Like, I was so excited. Like, you all don't understand. Look, you probably do if you ever done anything outside of Carnival. You can always hear Carnival cruises, sail away parties from other cruise ships because it's that loud, it's that fun. It's always a very lively environment. So I'm like, finally, I can be front and center. And so I literally did that. I was front and center. I took my GoPro, I took my cell phone. I said, forget standing from the side. I'm going to get right in the middle of it and wait for the cast to come out and do their little thing. And then once they start dancing, I'm going to get away. And this is what happened.
That's right. You got your best performers out here on stage. Show us what you got. Come on.
I'm doing it for y'all. Folks, I was so scared when they started surrounding me. They had that Cupid Shuffle look in that eye. I was like, oh, heck no. They're going to get me out here line dancing and stuff. So I punked out. I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and to the back and just record from a distance. I couldn't take it. I mean, I don't have an issue with dancing and stuff like that. But that Cupid Shuffle, y'all, I just can't do it. I've heard that song to death. It drives me insane. I can't do it. So I did this for you all. Check it out. The party was great. I got to give a huge shout out to the cruise director, Zach. Carnival is known for their cruise directors and their parties and their fun, and it makes sense. I mean, he was getting it, he had the crowd going. It was a really, really good time. It is so crazy to say that MrBucketlist has finally been a part of one of those Carnival videos of the crazy pool deck parties. Now, after all that dancing, all the energy, and being hot and being black, I finally was ready to get some more food. Now, I wanted to get Guy's Burger again, but unfortunately, they had limited hours. I believe it was like from like 12 to 5 or something like that, so it was pretty much closed down. The good thing was I actually had the steakhouse reserved on this night, so I was all good to go. Now, going into this steakhouse, I was actually kind of concerned about the potential quality of the food. A lot of times I'll post my food on social media, and it's usually food on Royal or NCL or any other cruise line, and people are shocked by the quality, and a lot of those people usually are Carnival sailors. So I'm like, man, something wrong with the food? I was very concerned. This is what I got.
Say what? Baby, you got what I want. Because y'all be driving Lexus Jeeps in the...
I loved everything about this experience from start to finish. Oh my god, I mean, the atmosphere, the service, the speed of the service, the food, the food, the food. So let me just quickly go through it. So of course you get bread and butter, which is standard, but then you also get this little mini burger, and this little burger was so good. It was so small, but it was so good. And then I also got a shrimp cocktail as well, which was fantastic. I got these oysters. I'm not really a fan of oysters. I don't know why I got this, but whatever. They look good on camera. But this steak, oh my god, and this butter, it was so good. And not only that, but I also got the bottle service as well. And I got a huge bottle of wine for like 15 bucks. It was really cheap, and the wine was actually really good. And then lastly, I got the dessert, which is phenomenal. I am being dead serious when I say this. I've been to a lot of different steakhouses, again, on 29 different cruises. I haven't done a steakhouse on them all, but I've done them on probably about 15 of them. This was my favorite steakhouse experience. The food, the price, everything was on point. After that phenomenal meal in the steakhouse, I said, you know what? It's finally time to go ahead and explore the ship, get to know the nightlife and stuff like that. And so I did, first starting off with the theater. Now, the first show I went to in the theater was just like almost like a game show type of thing that they had. It was basically just a crowd participation type of thing where they had them come up and do little games and challenges.
Okay, so what I need you to do is give me a shoulder width stance. 2, 3, here we go. Shake it. Oh. He's on a mission.
And they won stuff. That was cool. And then they actually had a stage show as well, theater stage show. It was like almost like a musical act type of thing where they just did like singing, dance, and stuff like that. That was really enjoyable. Of course, it wasn't the best show I've ever seen. I wouldn't say that at all, but it was actually very, very enjoyable. But that's not why I came on this cruise ship. If I want to see a good stage show, I'll go on Celebrity, on Royal, or NCL, something like that. That's not what I'm coming to Carnival for. I came to Carnival to have some fun. So I kind of went around and did my usual thing as far as club hopping. I really wanted to wait till the next day, but I still want to get a little tease of it. And this is what I saw. It was really fun. I was like, wow, even on the first night. I mean, usually on cruise ships on the first night, people are kind of timid because they don't really know each other like that. And so the partying doesn't really start until day 2 or 3. But even on Carnival, people are having a really good time. So I already knew, like, man, like this is going to be a fun cruise. But at the same time, I knew I didn't want to waste all my energy on day 1. So I went to those parties. I didn't stay long. But I really just wanted to kind of walk around the cruise ship and just kind of take my time and enjoy the night. That was day 1. And all I could tell myself was, a time will be had.
Yeah. Hardly home, but always.
Yes! I get to know this dang ship. Nah, in all seriousness though, if you're a fan of my channel, then you already know these are usually one of my favorite parts of cruises, getting to know the cruise ship. Especially in this instance. So for me, because I do a lot of newer cruise ships, I would say about 90% of my cruises are on new cruise ships. I rarely get to see like older cruise ships and how well they're maintained. It's always very interesting to see. I mean, of course, the decor and stuff like that is always going to be outdated, but you can legit be on an older cruise ship, and as long as it's actually well maintained, it still looks new. It's pretty crazy to say. And not only that, but it's kind of weird because in my experience, for example, when I was on Icon of the Seas, even though that was a new cruise ship, I was the first person in that room, my AC didn't work, and so I had to call maintenance for that. When I was on Celebrity Ascent, I was the first person in that room. That was a new cruise ship. My AC didn't work because the window wouldn't go up. So it's like I had all these technical issues on newer cruise ships versus old ones. It's kind of crazy how they've already worked all those kinks out and everything's good to go. So I love doing those comparisons. Plus, of course, I love getting to know the ship. And that leads me to say that I had zero issues with this cruise ship. After getting to know the ship, it was finally time for me to check in for my special breakfast. The Dr. Seuss Cat in the Hat breakfast. So again, for the fans of my channel, you all know that I love to review different breakfasts and restaurants and things like that. I've done over 100 food reviews of different restaurants and such. So I want to do that on this cruise ship as well. That's why I did the steakhouse. That's why I did this. Of course, I don't have children, so I mean, it's always kind of walking a tightrope as far as do I look like a creep or am I looking like I'm trying to record. I hate doing these things, but at the same time, I love getting the content, I love the experience. I'm never having kids. I don't care about having kids. That's not my thing, but I am going to enjoy my activities the way I want to. So here I am.
Say hi, thing two. We've got thing one and thing two here to meet you all. Oh no. Thing one and thing two are excited to meet each and every single one. I just woke Cat up from a cat nap, so Cat's a bit sleepy.
Now, with that said, I told my waiter the dilemma. I said, hey, I'm here by myself. I'm doing a review. Can you give me something, some type of meal or plate or whatever that looks Instagram worthy? He said, oh, yeah, I got you, but I got you. Don't worry. Like, I was like, are you sure now? I was like, I want to make sure it pops. So something that's colorful, something that a kid would like to see. I want to get that in my video. He said, oh, I got you. No problem. This is what he gave me. Bro, what type of kid would want to eat this? Like, where's the colorful pancakes and the crayon-looking waffles and I don't know, the candy-looking... What is this? I was so pissed, but knowing good and well, I think this meal was like $10. I said, you know what? I paid whatever. Like, I spent $10 on Uber Eats just for delivery fees alone. I don't care about that. But I was fairly disappointed at both my waiter and the staff or whatever, whoever made that meal, because apparently that's what kids want to eat. No. But the environment was cool. Like I said, the ice sculptures, Cat in the Hat coming out and stuff like that. That actually was really cool. So for people that have children that's not solo like myself, you probably will enjoy this. And again, it's very cheap. It's literally $10 a person. I think $5 for kids. It's very cheap for a cruise ship. After breakfast, since it was a sea day, it was finally time to check out some of these activities. I mean, I don't care what people say. I was going to enjoy this cruise. You all can tag me in all the ghetto videos you want. I can give a dang. I'm having a good time.
No matter what people say, we got it going on. Who cares about what they say? Won't you come at me?
So of course I went back to Guy's Burger. I got another burger. I got my drink. I was just enjoying the vibe. Like, Carnival's legit just a vibe, and some people get it, some people don't. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much that I broke my sunglasses, and that was not a vibe. I was devastated. Like, no, I'm MrBucketlist on Carnival. I don't even have my dang glasses. Like, what's going on here? But that's what happens when you drink and you have a good time. You break stuff. Now, one thing I do have to apologize about before I continue on is the food. So usually when I do these documentaries, I give you all like a brief overview of all the food on the cruise ship. But between Blue Iguana and Guy's Burger, I legit had no reason to go to the buffet and other stuff like that. So you'll see some clips here and there, but for the most part, I was good. That's all I needed. So after burning up in the sun for long enough, I said, you know what, I'm good to go. Let me get back inside. Let me get into the AC and maybe see what's going on in the theater. So on my way to the theater, I actually saw this parade of like just families and kids and stuff like that. I'm like, what's going on? And what I found out was it was actually the Dr. Seuss parade that they have, where they have like a story time and then they walk them around the entire cruise ship. So that was really cool to see. Now inside the theater, as far as the show that they had planned, it was actually the Love and Marriage game show. I had never seen the Love and Marriage game show before this cruise. I heard rumors about it, and I figured this is Carnival. This is probably going to be the best version I'm going to get. So I checked it out, and here is some of the highlights.
What size bra you picking up for your wife? 38B. 38B. What size bra should you be picking up?
38C.
And that's not that far, Paul. 34B. What size bra should you be picking up?
36.
Oh man. So thanks to the content of that show, by the end of it, I knew how everyone on that stage lost their virginity, how big they are, how good they were in bed, how bad they were in bed, how many times they did on the cruise ship. It was essentially just a sex-based show. I had no idea, and I mean, that may not be for everybody. For me, I wanted a little bit more variety, so it was funny, but it was, I'll just leave it at that. It was not for children, even though children were there. So after that show, I actually met up with one of my fellow subscribers and someone that's one of my homeboys. I call him a brother of mine, a guy named Q. We met up and we got some drinks. This is him right here. It was so cool to actually know someone from my YouTube channel on this cruise, and we had not pre-planned this. We just happened to be on the same cruise. And so, like I said, we ended up hanging out. He was pretty much there solo as well. And so what he did was he invited me to the solos dinner in the MDR. Now, I will say when it comes to the food quality in the MDR, it wasn't the best. I mean, to be honest with you, I would have preferred just to have a guy's burger for all three of my meals on that cruise ship, because the rest of the food was just kind of nasty. Besides Blue Iguana, that was pretty good, but the MDR food wasn't the best. Either way, like I said, it was cool to kind of be around different solos and friends and stuff like that and talk to them. And speaking of talking to them, the one thing I will say is anytime you go on a cruise, especially when you're in MDR and you're talking to people, they always ask you, oh, what's your career? What do you do? And this and that. And you hear about some pretty cool stuff. Well, at this table, I heard a couple of different careers. Someone was a call center rep. One was a Waffle House manager. One was a Walmart assistant supervisor. And I'm not here to pick on anybody's job. Trust me. Like, it is what it is. As long as you're making money, that's good with me. But it was a stark difference from what I'm used to hearing. And so it made me kind of timid to say what I do. Because if you ever been on my Facebook, my IG, you know exactly what I do and what I don't do. And so if I had told them that, they probably would have thought I was lying. So I said, you know what? Let me just stay quiet. I literally just said, I'm a YouTuber. And they was like, oh, whatever. Like, they didn't take me seriously. And I was like, thank God, because I don't want to get beat up, robbed, or jumped. I'm not picking on Carnival, but I'm just saying, like, dang. But that was dinner. Now, after dinner, they had a different show in the theater, an actual stage show, not another game show. So I went back there, and that was good as well. Again, I thoroughly enjoy the shows on this cruise ship. It wasn't bad at all, and so I like this one as well. It's not crazy huge production, but again, this is the Carnival Conquest. But tonight was the time for the big party. By the time I made it to the party, I had already been drinking, I had already made some friends, I met up with my guy Q. I was in a really good mood, so all that nervousness and butterflies as far as, oh, you see the crazy carnival videos and people just having a great time and people scared of people having a great time, I didn't care about none of that. I wanted to be front and center, I wanted to see it all so I can record it, have a good time, be there. I wanted to have that full carnival experience, and it didn't disappoint. This pool deck party was probably one of the best I've ever seen on the cruise ship. And I mean, I've been on Celebrity, I've been on Virgin, I've been on Icon of the Seas. I have been on the world's biggest and best ships that are known for nighttime parties. But this one right here, just the wholesome fun, the music, the DJ, everyone actually dancing and being on beat. It cannot be beat. Like, I'm telling you right now, it is a reason why Carnival is called the fun ship. Their parties are fantastic. And if you're one of those type of people that's going to come to this video and criticize people having fun, I'm pretty sure you go to sleep after dinner. Just saying. Oh boy, here we go. This is my second time going to this island. The first time I went here was via Virgin Voyages, where I wanted to do an excursion when you go out to the Sapona, which is a sunken cruise ship. And I was so excited on Virgin, and I never made it because our tour guide didn't know where I needed to go to, and so I had to walk there. And by the time I walked there, they were already leaving, so I missed it. It was a very disappointing experience. The good news is Carnival had the same exact excursion as well through the same exact tour company. The only difference was it was through Carnival and that was through Virgin, but the same location, same everything. I was assuming that Carnival, since it's a larger cruise line, has been around a little bit longer, that it would be more organized than Virgin Voyages, so I wouldn't get lost. That was the case. Thankfully, instead of us having to meet there at some weird spot that nobody knew how to get to, you just met in the theater and they actually took a tram to get there. So I was really excited about that. Unfortunately, I realized once we got outside that the weather was actually starting to get pretty bad. And I understand how rain affects water and waves and things of that nature, and this was a snorkel experience, so you really don't want to try to snorkel if the waves are really bad. Also, let's not forget that I still have that bad luck from breaking my sunglasses. So I get to the location where we do the dive for the snorkel and everything. I sign the waiver, and then they say, hey, we just want to let you all know right now the waters are really, really choppy, so unless you're a very strong swimmer, we highly suggest that you cancel this excursion and don't do it. And I was like, you gotta be kidding. Like, I was so pissed and so upset. I'm like, wow, here we go again. And to make things worse, I noticed that I brought the wrong door on my GoPro, and if you have the wrong door, it makes it no longer waterproof. So either way, I couldn't take my GoPro in the water because it wasn't waterproof at the time. So I'm like, I'm not a good swimmer. I really can't swim at all. Plus, I don't have a GoPro, like a waterproof GoPro. What is the point of doing this excursion? It is pointless. Folks, I was devastated. So I said, whatever, you know what, I'm still on the island, this is something different, let me just go ahead and explore. But I was like, first let me replace my sunglasses, because I need my sunglasses. Even though it was cloudy and rainy outside and stuff like that, I still need my MrBucketlist sunglasses. This is what I got. I think buying these sunglasses made the day even worse. I'm telling you right now, once I looked in the mirror and I realized how goofy I looked, I was livid. I said, I'm leaving. I am going back to this cruise ship because this vacation on this island is done. And it's just crazy because, I mean, the sunglasses, they're functional or whatever. I actually still have them in my car as emergency backup glasses in case something happens to my glasses again. But I hated them. I hated those sunglasses so much. But I officially have my first souvenir from the Bahamas. I guess that's a win. So yeah, I gave up. I went right back to the cruise ship. I said, man, I need a guy's burger and a drink to make myself feel better. And I'll go from there. So that's what I did. I got myself a burger. It was amazing like usual. I got a drink. That was good as well. I actually went on the slide. And got in the pool. A lot of people were still on the island, so the actual ship itself was pretty empty. So I enjoyed that. Unfortunately, some kids came and started splashing as soon as I got in the pool, so I got right back out and I said, forget this. I am going to the adults only area, the Serenity area, which is actually really nice. So I went out there, I had my little drink, I got another burger. I went out there and I went to sleep. So that is a pro tip. If you want to get away from all the nonsense and the racket and stuff like that, go to the Serenity area, the adults only area. I think they have that on every single Carnival cruise ship. It's free of charge. There's no paid access, none of that nonsense. You just walk in there. As long as there's a seat available, you're good to go. Check it out.
Bang.
I done came down, hold up. I done came down, hold up, grip the grain.
So after I woke up from my power nap, I was like, man, let me see what else is going on. So they actually had a theater show going on, and this is where a funny experience happened. So I pretty much made it up in my mind. The rest of this cruise, I'm just going to drink it away. Like, I was so devastated about missing that excursion. As you all know, who's at least a fan of my channel, I love my excursions. That's the reason why I cruise. It's not for cruise ships. It's not to see the ocean 20, 30 times in a row. It's for the excursions and doing stuff on those islands. And so that was pretty heartbreaking because that was our only port outside of Miami, which we started from. So I was drinking quite a bit, and I sat front row for this next show. I was like, I haven't sat in front row the whole time. I'm gonna do it right now. And Carnival had these little things where they have these little stools or tables in front of your chairs inside the theater. It's actually really, really nice, and I wish other cruise ships had this. But I had a drink, and so they had a camera person going around and recording people and stuff like that. And I literally had my drink in my hand when the camera came on to me, and so I couldn't record it because I was drinking. But they literally asked me to chug my drink, and I did it. I did it for the crowd. Everyone went crazy. It was a very exhilarating experience. I had never done nothing like that in front of a cruise ship, only for Carnival. After getting tipsy at that show, it was finally time to head back to the MDR for our last meal. This meal was a little bit better, but I was more excited about the almost, I guess they have like the final party in the MDR. I had always seen videos of them like standing on the table and like waving rags and stuff like that. I was kind of serious how it was going to be on our cruise. This is the results.
She know what's up. Same page, same book, different song, same hook. Every time, honey.
Join us, everybody.
It was really fun. This is the guy right here that took care of the solos. He was really, really cool. Every time we walked in, he took care of us right away. There was no wait. Even though I wasn't a fan of the food in the MDR, I thoroughly enjoyed all the service on this cruise ship. Carnival has some good service. And speaking of service, I came back to my room and I saw this.
Only if you got that mind bomb.
Now, there were some other things that took place that I'd rather not speak about, but I will say this. After everything was said and done, I went back up to the top pool deck. I enjoyed the open air, the breeze. I didn't get in the pool like I usually do to do my nighttime pool videos, but it was nice to just be out there and just enjoy myself and just really think, wow, this is the Carnival experience. Like, this is the experience that everyone said I would not be able to handle because of the type of person I am. I'm too uppity or whatever. Whatever that meant, I finally did it, and I actually enjoyed it. Day 4, and we're back in Miami. I survived my first Carnival cruise, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Of course, I left a good tip for my cabin steward. And then I went to the buffet for breakfast. This was my first time doing that, and the breakfast wasn't bad at all. It was pretty good. It was a nice, beautiful day outside, so I did walk around a little bit before it was time to get off the cruise ship. And then I did go to the theater. So this is the time period where I was actually able to use the Faster to the Fun benefits. Now, for this portion, I was able to get off the ship a lot earlier. I've heard that Carnival has had some disastrous disembarkations. I didn't want to deal with that. So I was like, you know what, at least I can use it getting off the cruise ship. Getting on wasn't a problem, but getting off, I know how that can be. And so, thankfully, with that package, I was easily able to get off. I was back to my car before 8 o'clock. Let's talk about a recap. As of the making of this video, I have been on 29 cruises, and yes, as I said earlier, this is my only Carnival cruise. If you follow my channel, you know I like variety. I'm not a rookie. I've done so many different cruise lines: Virgin, NCL, Royal, Celebrity, Celestial. I'm not a rookie. I've done 10 other cruise lines outside of Carnival. I love my variety. I was able to do this entire review without calling this a Section 8 cruise or a Walmart cruise or Applebee's of the Seas, because I don't look at it that way. Everyone has their different wants and needs when it comes to cruises, but at the end of the day, the cruise experience is pretty much what you make of it. Carnival is called the fun ship because they legit have the most fun parties and the most fun atmosphere that I've ever seen on a cruise ship. I mean, the rest of them, if I were to compare Carnival to something else, the rest of those cruise ships are almost snooze fest. Yes, they have some good shows. Yes, they have some good food and good service and stuff like that. But when it comes to actual livelihood and atmosphere on a cruise ship, Carnival does have the best. And believe it or not, that's all some people want. I enjoyed my first cruise on Carnival, and I can't wait to go back. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's Mr. Bucket List.